So here we have the Odenwolf Ambulo. That's A-M-B-U-L-O. Ambulo, I guess you would pronounce it. Ambulo. So this blade's in D2 steel. Very sharp out of the box. Got some nice jimping here. G10 handle. Nicely rounded over contours on the handle metal. Even the lanyard hole is very nicely rounded over. No sharp edges. You're not going to cut your string on this edge or in the hole. Everything's very nicely rounded over where it needs to be. The handle is very comfortable. I like this little recessed finger area into the handle scales. Feels very comfortable in the hand. Very nice place to put your finger on the jimping. Very comfortable in the hand. Nice thick blade stock. This comes with a ferro rod, a nice Kydex taco style sheath, fold over taco style sheath with a dangler belt clip and also a belt clip here. So if you didn't want to use the dangler belt clip and you want this one, take this guy off and just leave this one. You could wear it with both, however you'd like. They were very generous on their carry options here, which I really think that's pretty awesome. You got nice retention on the sheath. It fits in the sheath real nice. Clicks in, locks in, very positive retention. It's not coming out of there. It doesn't wiggle around in the sheath. It makes no noise. The only one criticism I have is they could have given you a little more relief right here, so you can put your finger right where you would want to put your finger before you pull the knife out. As it sits right now, your finger's kind of right here. And that's as far forward as I can get my finger, so when you do pull the knife out, your finger looks like that. It would be nice if your finger was right where you need it and you were right on that jimping when you were deploying the blade. But there's still plenty of handle here. I just don't like the idea of having to walk up the blade with my hand when I pull the knife out. In an emergency tactical situation, you want to have the best grip on the blade that you can, and that would be right here, jimping and right here. So me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a Dremel tool. First I'll start with probably a little scratch awl, and I'll scratch my little area that I'm going to take out, and I'll just start hogging some material out of the sheath here. You're still going to have positive retention here and here on the blade. It should still grip the knife very well. I don't see any issues with it. I might just leave it too. But I like the sheath is very minimal. Nice thick Kydex. It's not too thin. I will probably get rid of the dangler here and just carry it on my belt. Probably try to carry it scout style, so I'll turn the clip. On the bottom here we got on off, so when you have this on your belt, you're going to want to keep it in that off position, which means basically it's locked and this can't be opened. With this in the on position, you can press it and open it up. You can move these two things here for different size belts. You can take both of these out for a nice big 2-inch belt. Very confident here that this is going to take a 2-inch belt. Yep, easily. So if you're going to use a nice big 2-inch belt, you take these out. If you're going to have a smaller belt, you might just run one of these. These are movable and removable, so you can adjust these as needed. But figure out what size belt you got, lock it on, put it in the off position. Nobody's going to take it off. The ferro rod fits very snug in both positions. Me personally, I prefer the ferro rod in the down position like this. In the up position, it does kind of interfere, not too bad, but it's kind of in the way when you go to pull the blade out. So I personally like it down here. And if this is going to be like an everyday carry knife for you or something that you're going to wear a lot. I would probably take the ferro rod off unless you're going to camp with it. And overall, it's a pretty heavy package the way it sits, so lightening it up, making it smaller, more compact to carry every day would be good. This box is very nice, probably one of the nicest boxes that I've had a knife come in. You got a magnet here that holds this shut, and you open it up, and this is how it came. This is a cleaning cloth. This is an extra belt with a little different option, maybe a little shorter option, and you got some Velcro here, extra padding in here. There's actually two of these. The blade was sandwiched in between with that on the tip of the knife. But overall, the unboxing experience was real nice on this. You could definitely tell they cared about how the knife fit in the box, and I like the magnets here to keep it shut. Let's take a look at the blade. Overall, I'm very impressed with the blade, with the grind. Very sharp out of the box, all the way to the point. I'm not putting hardly any pressure on that blade. And it is shaving sharp out of the box. They got enough of a sharpening choil here where you could get a few sharpens out of this without having to grind on it. D2 steel, very tough steel. Look at the tip on this knife, very, very nice. You got kind of a clip point here. Overall, this spine isn't super sharp for striking a ferro rod. You could definitely strike the ferro rod right in the sharpening choil. But I do think the spine is probably sharp enough. It's just not going to throw sparks like a dragon. I mean, you'll get some sparks off of there enough to start a fire, but nice stonewash blade. It's a black stonewash. And the price of this was $59 on Amazon. I'm going to show you the listing here. So it's the Odenwolf Ambulo G10 handle, D2 steel, $59. This is the green stonewash, just how it's shown there. I think it's a nice price for the knife. Let's see. Blade length is, I'd say 4 1/4 on the cutting edge, and I'd just say 4 5/8 of blade till you reach the handle materials. And then you got the handle material is, if you're counting that all the way to the end, you're 4 1/2 inches of handle that you can grab onto. So overall, you're gonna have 9 and, let's get that on there. You're gonna have about 9 inches, 9 1/8 or so, all the way to the end. A very generous handle. I think it fits in my hand really nice. Plenty of extra. I do have pretty large hands. I know there's a lot of people with bigger hands than me, but my hands are pretty large. This fits comfortably in the hand. This also feels very nice in a reverse grip. I'm just going to move this string out of the way. But as you can see, my thumb wraps around the back of it real nice. My pinky locks right into the handle where it needs to be. And you do get a very positive grip on this knife. You're definitely not going to slip off this knife. The handle scales aren't swelled up in the middle. They're pretty straight as you go across the whole handle. It could be contoured a little better, give you a little bubble in here. I do like when the knife kind of bubbles in the middle, fills up your hand a little bit better. But this blade stock on this knife is very, very thick and very substantial. You can definitely tell, you know, how thick that blade is when you put it in your hand. Let's get the camera to focus. Very nice stonewash blade. Overall, I give this knife a 10. No hot spots, D2 steel, 60 bucks. They give you a really nice sheath. For 60 bucks, you get a lot of carry options, which is nice. Ferro rod, just a great blade overall. I really like the jimping as well. It's not sharp on this edge where you see a lot of jimping is really so sharp it'll actually cut you and it'll stop your finger from sliding. I don't like a sharp jimping on the sides. I like when it does have a smooth over profile like this, and it grips when you push down on it, but if you're on the side of it, it's not going to cut you at all. So this jimping is really, really nice, really comfortable. There's a lot of videos on YouTube, use videos where guys are batoning this and doing a lot of bushcraft stuff, and I've seen that it holds up very well. You can feel free to go and watch some of those other ones. I do not do any use testing on this channel. We're just going to give you an up close look at the knife. I'll try to give you a closer look than any other channel as far as the grinds, the blade. I know the blade is very important to most people. I think on this knife the grinds are done really accurately. Some knives you'll see the grind is much bigger on one side than the other. I'd say that this is not the case here. They did go a little far on the grind here on this side. Compared to this side, they stopped right at the sharpening choil. This side they went a little bit far. That's very minor. For $60, this is a knife you're going to take out and use, have fun with, and not care if it gets some scratches on it. D2 steel is not rust resistant. It will rust, so you do want to keep the blade dry. They did a good job of putting a drain hole here in case you're out in the rain. You don't want to let that blade sit in the water, so wipe the blade off when you're done. That blade should last you forever. I love their logo. So this is kind of nice too if you want to leave this on your belt. Maybe you have a pair of pants with a belt on it or something, you want to leave this on there and clip this knife on and off as you wish. Very nice and convenient way to do that. In a self-defense situation, I probably wouldn't do this because somebody can just go like that and take your knife. So I like the Tech Lock here for carrying a tactical position. I think the knife and the sheath match very well in color. There is a slight variation of the sheath versus the handle. Very hard to tell, but you can see it just ever so slightly. But all this stuff is going to fade once you get it out in the sun, and the handle will fade, and everything will change color a little bit with the sun and all that. But overall, I give this knife a 10. If you're looking to buy a good knife, I'd say this is a good choice. It does come with the string. I do have another knife that I've already reviewed here. I'm just going to pull that out for you guys. And I really like this knife as well. This is an Odenwolf. I want to say that it's a W Scandi. And I'm very, very impressed with the tip on this knife. It is very stout, very, very aggressive. So this is a Scandi grind. on this knife, and I'm very impressed with the grinds on this knife. This is my first and only Scandi grind that I have on a knife, and I tell you what, this knife is impressive. If you're wanting to see more about this knife, go back in my playlist and check out my video on this one. Much simpler sheath. Overall, it feels like a lighter package, not a taco style sheath, but you get the idea. So I'm a big fan of Odenwolf, knives. We also did a video on this one here. I want to say this is the W Catcher. This is a very big, huge blade. Very, very big knife. And that's all we're going to do right now is take a very quick look at that. Put that away. If you want to see that knife, that's more of a clearing trails, walking through the woods with a 10-inch, almost machete type of knife. But so all three of these knives I really like. I think they're very nice. If you're looking for a good company, I think Odenwolf does a great job. All of their knives came sharp, right out of the box, no issues, no damage. So, all right, guys, that concludes my video on the Odenwolf Ambulo. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if this content helped you out. This is a fairly new channel. You might see that this is a very old video by the time you're actually seeing this, but either way, I'd appreciate if you subscribed, liked, and comment, and shared this video with anybody, any of the big knife guys out there that you feel would enjoy a nice review on this knife. Please feel free to share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much.